Okay? I'm going to place my focus. It's here somewhere. And here's my directrix. And somehow if I graph these now, it makes it much easier for me to figure out what everything is, where everything else is. Okay. I got to calculate using my A equals 1 over 4C so that I can get this distance from the vertex to the focus. So my A is 1/24 equals 1 over 4C. I think C is 6. Okay, so I got a distance of 6 to the vertex. I'm sorry, from the vertex to the focus and from the vertex to the directrix. All right, so let me figure out what the xy coordinates of that point is at the focus here. I've gone 6 to the right from 0, 0. So I think that point is over 6 and up 0. So my focus is 6, 0. Okay. The directrix is a vertical line this time. So it's an x equal line instead of a y equal line. And it's going through -6 on the x-axis to have gone over left 6 from the origin. So the directrix is x equals -6. Now let's try one a little harder. Ready for one a little harder? Okay. And then we'll get to the fancy hardest one of all. So I've got x minus 2 squared equals 4y. Is this going to be a y equals x squared or an x equals y squared? Y equals x squared. The y is not squared, so that's the variable I want to solve for. So let me put the y over here to the left because that always makes me more comfortable. I got to solve this equation for y. So let me divide both sides by 4, and I get y equals, I want to have that x minus 2 there squared. So change that division by 4 into a multiplication by 1/4. Okay. I need the vertex. I need the focus. I need the directrix, and I need a graph. Dividing by 4 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/4. And I want to have an A in there. So when I do that, when I have that division of my squared term, I want to turn that into a little fraction times my squared term so that it turns into my A. All right, so this is a y equals, so this is in my form y equals A times x minus h squared plus k, where my h is 2 and my k is 0. So my vertex is at 2, 0. Give myself a little more room for the graph. So here we go, 1, 2, 0. There's my vertex. Is this one open up, down, left, or right? Up. There we go. So my focus has got to be sitting inside the parabola here somewhere. And here's my directrix down below. Now I need to find that distance from the vertex to the focus. That's my C. Remembering that A equals 1 over 4C, and my A in this case is 1/4. What's C? Okay. So let me find the xy coordinates of my focus. It is a distance of 1 from the vertex. So my focus is right 2 and up 1. My directrix is 1 below the vertex. It's a horizontal line, so it's a y equals, and it's y equals what? Negative 1 below the axis. Okay? Need a moment to ponder that one? Well, I get the most awful, gosh darn, hardest one that I can do. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to do one of the examples from the book that's going to actually have a fraction in it. Okay. You ready? Okay. You've enjoyed what we've done so far, I know. Yeah. That's why I'm going to give you 1. All right. I got y squared minus 4x minus 4y plus 16 equals 0. You examine this first to see whether you think it's going to be an x equals y squared or y equals x squared. It's got to be an x equals y squared because I've got a y squared in there. That's not going to go away. I've got x's and y's in there. All right, so let me solve this equation for x. Let me try to solve this equation for x. I'm going to keep the negative 4x here on the left side of my equation. And I'm going to push everything else over to the right side. So I get a negative y squared plus 4y minus 16. I don't want negative y squared. I want the coefficient on the y squared to be 1 because I'm going to complete the square. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by negative 1 and get 4x equals positive y squared. That's what I want. Minus 4y plus 16. Okay. Don't divide by the 4 yet. I need this equation to look like the previous problem that had the x minus 2 squared. I need to get rid of that, that y term by making a perfect square. So I complete the square, which means I take the y squared minus 4y, I take that negative 4 and I divide it by 2 and get negative 2 and get y minus 2 squared. You remember doing completing the square in the fall? No? Too bad. We're going to do plenty of it. Okay. Now, y minus 2 squared, that's y squared minus 2y minus 2y plus 4. That's y squared minus 4y plus 4. So I've got my y squared. I got my minus 4y. I don't have plus 4 there. So this y minus 2 squared has added a plus 4, has added this plus 4. Take it away. And this equation now becomes y minus 2 squared plus 12. So y minus 2